warm welcome. A very warm welcome to all of you on our 36th Foundation Day. It is a very, very special day for us, and I want to welcome all our friends who are joining us from different disability organizations, our registered members, some of our well-wishers, our other partners, our founder members, our senior leadership teams from our 8 chapters, and also some who are seeing us and joining us for the very first time. A very, very warm welcome once again. You know, the last 2 years has been so difficult for us because of the COVID pandemic. We have all grappled with different issues. COVID pandemic has shown inequalities in accessing healthcare facilities, treatments. Some of our members were stuck at home, and being a person with MS and not having access to treatment in a timely manner has made things very, very difficult for us. Of course, there is also another issue of complete isolation and not being able to socialize. That has taken a mental toll on a lot of us. Everyone is almost going through the same pains and same issues. However, even in spite of all of that, Multiple Sclerosis Society of India, through its 8 chapters and our head office activities, have been staying very closely in touch with our members to ensure that we provide whatever service and comfort that we can, given the constraints of lockdown. Today is a very, very special day, as you can all see. You have seen our posters. We celebrate the 36th foundation year. 36 years, and we're still going strong. There's a lot to do. Today, we are doing this special event mainly to launch our advocacy campaign, Numbers Matter. Why is it that numbers matter? You know, all of you know, at least the people who have MS, we all know that there is no national comprehensive registry for MS in India. When there is no data on the prevalence and incidence of MS, what happens? We get left behind. The policies are not well suited. It's not inclusive. It doesn't include MS people. And at the end of the day, we get left behind while accessing policies, treatments, and schemes, and so on. In order for us to overcome this, the reason why we are launching Numbers Matter campaign. We hope that with the Numbers Matter campaign, our voice becomes louder, stronger. From various parts of India, we hear new voices. Our own members put their voices and demands, and it's eventually heard and rings in the corridors of the policymakers in the government. It is a very difficult task, but this campaign is going to run for 4 weeks, and we're going to have very interesting activities throughout these 4 weeks. We are also going to be looking at launching the MS India map. Also, it is a call basically to address the need to have a national registry. Due to the lack of data and no numbers in MS in India, life becomes very difficult. We have been using the Atlas of MS data, which shows that there was 2.3 million people living in the world in 2013, and now in 2020, there are close to 2.8 million people. Obviously, there is a rise in MS cases, and India is not an exception. So our campaign and our map will help us talk to the government policymakers in a very effective manner to bring our voice and express our need to start the National Registry for MS. Without further ado, we have an action-packed day for you for the next 2 hours actually, and you will be seeing some fantastic audiovisual clips celebrating our 36th year. You will also be hearing from the experts, Professor Gupta and Mrs. Bhavna Sharma, who I will introduce as we go along. They'll be talking to us about some very critical aspects on importance of data and the need for data. You will also see our MS Person of the Year 2021, Miss Anjali Vyas, launched the petition on change.org, and we need all your support. You will also finally be seeing the launch of our advocacy campaign, Numbers Matter, all here on the virtual space. And I hope and pray, keep my fingers crossed, that the network stays with us and at the speed at which we are going. So without further ado, let me start the proceedings for the event. Nazia, may I please request you to play the AV for the 36 years? Thank you. Thank you very much, Nazia. Now I move on to the next part of the program. May I now invite our president, Mr. Viresh Oberoi, to kindly deliver his address. The floor is yours, Viresh.
Thank you, and good afternoon to every one of you. I see there are 111 of us on this call today, so good afternoon to all of you, and congratulations on the 36th Foundation Day of MSSI. I understand that some of our founders of the various chapters, as well as a co-founder of MSSI, may be in on the Zoom call, so my special welcome to them as well. The topic for today is numbers matter. And numbers matter for a number of reasons, and I will just pick up a couple of them. Though, of course, our speakers that have been chosen will talk more about this. But in the video clip that was shown to you, it was mentioned that over the last 36 years, we have spread to 8 chapters. Let me also share with you that in this year's AGM, we will be introducing our 9th chapter, which is Trivandrum. But then that is later in the month of September when we have our AGM. But having said that, that we have grown from 1 chapter in 1985 to 9 chapters in 2021 in 36 years, have our membership really increased at the numbers that it should have been today after 36 years? And I definitely believe that, that they have not. We are there in some parts of the country, but in larger parts, in most geographies, for example, the entire state of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, the Northeast, we are non-existent, we don't have any chapters. We have some of our chapters like Delhi, for example, reaching out to MS people and people afflicted with MS in these states. And I think there is much more that we can do to reach out to our brethren who don't even know that they have MS, who don't even know that they are afflicted with MS, and as a matter of fact, are being treated for the symptoms that they have rather than for the core problem that they have, which is MS. This reminds me in terms of the fact that even a developed world such like a country such like the United States felt that they had about 500,000 MS people living in the United States till they did a survey and they found that they have over 1 million. And the surprising part was not only the numbers which jumped up from 500,000 to 1 million, but it was also the spread of people who had MS. So it was no longer the Caucasian who we all thought was susceptible to this affliction, but it was also people coming out of Africa who were afflicted with this, people coming out of Asia who were afflicted with this. So that came as a great revelation that this is an affliction which we don't know what causes it. We don't know who can get it, except for the fact that if you are between the ages of 10 and 40, if you are more often than not a lady, you would get it. But then why should one lady in a family get it? Why should one child in a family get it? Why should somebody else not get it? We still don't have the answer to that. So till we get the answer to that, there are, I believe, hundreds of thousands of people living in India today who are not aware of the fact that they have MS. And it is important for us as a patient welfare group to reach out to them so that they feel and that they are part of a much larger brethren and that we can help them in their activities, in their daily activities, as also to help them to find out whether they have MS or not. Because the earlier you come to know that you have MS, the earlier you can take action, and the action that you take earlier is something which will benefit you considerably. So number one is in terms of the fact that we need to reach out to more and more people out there who do not know that they have MS, who do not know about MSSI, and we need to bring them into our fold. Today the numbers are, we have less than 3,000, which is a very, very small number. So number one is that we need to reach out to them. Number two is, as far as you are concerned, who know about MSSI and who have been taking some benefit as far as MSSI is concerned, as far as this movement is concerned, there's much more that we can do for you. There's much more that this organization can do for you. But it is you who need to come forward and to say that, look, this is what I need, with numerous voices to say, this is what I need and this is what I expect this organization to do for me. So if you can do that, we can then better represent you amongst the various stakeholders who are interested or who are empowered, who are accountable for taking action. And here I mean, not only the medical fraternity, so not only the neurologists, but even the general physician, and also the government who are keen to help us, and the society at large. If we can build upon them this awareness, but here once again, if we share with them that we are an organization which has only 3,000 members who are afflicted with MS, they will say we got other things to think about, other problems to solve really. So really, once again, if we can increase our membership, if we can create this awareness to increase our membership, that would give our organization more strength. And there are two ways. There are two ways that we can do this. One is in terms of technology. Use technology. Today, for example, we are on this platform, on the Zoom platform, because of technology, because of what technology offers us. Anywhere in the world, anyone can log on to this Zoom call and participate in this meeting. So technology has a lot to offer us. We need to leverage it. We need to see how we can create awareness amongst the various stakeholders to spread the word as far as MS is concerned, so that MS can be treated earlier and MSSI can become a viable organization with hundreds of thousands of members. I hope that number is wrong, but every MS person or everyone who's afflicted with MS, whether he be a MS afflicted person directly or a caregiver, should become a member of MSSI. So that's point number one, which is in terms of leverage technology to the fullest. And we nationally are doing things about this, but there's much more that we can do. MSIF, I would like to share over here, which is the International Federation based out of UK, is helping us considerably. And we are working alongside them to make this happen. The second point, so besides technology, the second point that I have in terms of a suggestion of how we can achieve this is I believe the requirement of a full-time team. And when I say full-time, at least the chief executive officer, at least the national secretary, at least the team around this person should be full-time. It should not be volunteer-based. They should be held accountable by MSSI to say that, look, we look forward to you spreading this work, taking this challenge forward, and making sure that this happens. Now, I've been a member of the MSIF. I'm on the board of MSIF now for the past 4 years, I think. And I met various national organizations from across the world. And every national organization I've met, and this is not only from the West, but even from Asia and from South America, the chief executive officer is a full-time paid professional. This is his or her full-time job to do this. And I think we also, as MSSI, need to move towards a full-time executive who can take the story forward and not say that, look, today I'm a volunteer, I got a full-time job, and I got to do that. And when I have time, maybe over the weekend, I can do this as well. That's not going to cut any more as far as we are concerned. And I think this is holding us back. So these are two things. I will put my voice forward on both these points, which is technology, leverage technology as much as we can, and we have done. And also in terms of getting a full-time we have done something on this front. Javed, for example, who is in on this call is the National Director for Advocacy. He's a full-time person, funded totally by MSIF. Nazia, who is in charge of marketing communication, is also full-time and and has again been funded by MSIF. But we need to reach out and get some more people like this to take this story forward in a far more professional and in a holistic manner. Wishing you again the very best on the 36th anniversary and looking forward to more such celebrations as we sort of move forward. Thank you very much. Nice talking to you.
Thank you, Viresh. I think the things that you have said resonates with a lot of us. Most importantly, it resonates with our speaker, who I'm going to introduce, Professor Rajendra Pratap Gupta. It is my honor and my privilege to introduce Professor Rajendra Gupta, who is a leading public policy expert who has been contributing to policy making over a decade. He has authored policies across sectors. He is the former advisor to the Health Minister of India and has played an important role in drafting the national education and the national health policy. He has been involved in the global policy formulation at the World Health Organization as a member of the Guidelines Development Group. And he is a member of the World's Economic Forum's Expert Network. Professor Gupta has authored 5 books and is widely traveled and chairs the World Intellectual Foundation. Another trivia that I would like to share with you before I hand over the floor to Professor Gupta is that way back in 2016 or 17, when the RPWD Act came into being, I was looking for someone to give us some guidance on how to reach the government. At that time, I didn't know we would come so far, and he would be one of our key speakers for the campaign and the 36th Foundation. It's an absolute pleasure to welcome you, Professor Gupta. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Renuka ji. I'm sure I'm audible, and pardon me if there's a technical glitch, if at all. But firstly, I congratulate the visionaries who founded this organization 36 years ago and the missionaries who have carried it for over 36 years. I believe that some of our friends may not be even 36 years in age, and it takes a long time to reach here. And I think that shows the passion of the people and the commitment to the cause. It's not an easy thing. And I really thank my friend Jay, who introduced me to you, and through you, MSSI. And I've seen the wonderful work that you have been doing. And, you know, for me, organizations like these are very important from the policy standpoint, because if you look at the civil society organizations globally, and even in the UN system, if you talk to anyone about policy and you talk about civil society organizations, they have a revered place. And the reason they have that is because they are taken like in a very different league. They are not looked upon as lobbying organizations. They have a very specific cause, they have a very specific mandate, and they, I think, pursue their goals very clearly, very clearly. So I think for me, MSSI and its work is very important for the cause of the multiple sclerosis. But here on the data, since you're talking about two things, and I think this campaign is very important, numbers matter. The number 36 Foundation Day itself is very important. But there is a story, there's an inside story, that I must share with you. I think I have been hearing and I've seen your website. So it talks about the right to people with disabilities bill. So I'm going to share this. It's not in public domain, but then you will get to understand. And why I'm sharing this is for a reason. It's because of the campaign that you have, Numbers Matter. So sometime in 2013, I think it was maybe August or September, Smriti Iraniji introduced me a person who is an Indian American, saying, Rajendra, he wants to speak with you about people with disabilities. And he wants you to put that prominently in the manifesto of BJP, where our Honorable Narendra Bhai was the Prime Minister candidate in 2014. So for 2000,